Okay, probability is very important to know that you have to distinguish between fraction, decimal, and percent. And we write probability. Actually, keep in mind that if you're writing a fraction to a decimal, you need to TBO. Or if you're converting a fraction to a decimal, you need to TBO, and then you move your decimal 2 places over for a percent. The probability of an event is written like this: P open parentheses, whatever you want to happen on the inside, close parentheses, equals what you want to happen on top, so it works in your favor. We call that favorable outcomes over the total possible outcomes. Total always goes on the bottom, but I might ask for it backwards, meaning I'll ask how many there are in total, and then I'll ask for how many options that I have in general. It says pound favorable, P event. Next, but she leaves early for a basketball game. Okay, keep that in mind. Oh, you can't see it, my bad. Okay, dependent event example. We put 2 red counters and 2 white counters in a bag. What is the probability, P, of choosing a red counter, not replacing it, and then choosing a white counter? So I want red first and then white. What's my total at first? Yes, it is. That is correct. So this is definitely dependent. That's why they have this written up here. Now, how many counters do I start with? 4. 4 first. And then if I take 1 out, how many will I have then next?
3.
3 later. Okay? Keep that in mind. So the first step, find the probability of the first event. Probability of red on the first draw and simplify if possible. What's the chances of me getting a red out of all of them?
1 to 40.
I have how many reds?
2.
So what's my fraction?
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. Good. And then I need to simplify.
1/2.
Half. Half of them are red. Okay, I took out a red counter. Now it says the second event. What's the probability of getting a white? How many are white?
2.
It's just 2/3. Because I don't have 4 marbles anymore. I have half for the first event and 2/3 for the second. Remember, we have 2 white marbles remaining, or white counters remaining, out of 3 in the whole group. Now, in order to determine this entire probability, because I need 1 fraction, I'm going to take 1/2 and multiply it by 2/3. So step 1 is half. Step 2 is 2/3. Then I multiply the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. 1 times 2. Oops, this should be a 3. I need y'all to pay attention. 1 times 2 and 2 times 3. 2 6 simplifies to what? 1/3. That's my final answer. Now, if they ask me for a decimal, what would this be as a decimal?
0.3.
Good. 0.3 repeats. Then what would the percent be? 33 what? I can't have the 33 repeating because then I have
30%.
not 30. Don't round it. I need that decimal. 33.3 repeats. 33.3% repeats. So this is another way to write these answers. I think it's on the back counter, honey. On the back counter, because I pulled it out to give it to you the other day and I forgot. Do you see books back there? Look in the SIBL cabinet. Oh, cabinet. Keep going. The tall one. The tall one. Nope. Keep coming to your left. Keep it. Come on. Boom. Right there. SIBL. Open them up. You see books? Okay. Your name is written on one of them. Okay. Don't lose focus. Yes. Take the pass and go. Okay. Independent. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, you're right. Sit down, Lazaya. Independent events example. We put 2 red counters and 2 white counters in a bag. What is the probability of choosing a red counter followed by a white one? Okay, I'm doing the same thing, but I am going to put the counter back. That's a good question. Just want to go. It's right here. He asked first.
No, he going. That's what you gotta say.
Okay, so I want to draw red first.
Oh,
I want to draw red first. It's the same probability. 2 fourths and a half. I have 4 counters at first.
3.
Do I take it out and not replace it?
No.
No. So I'm always going to have 4 counters as my total. So now I want white. What's the chance of getting a white?
2.
Out of?
3. 4. 3. 2 out of 4 because you're out of 4.
2 out of 4 because I still have 4. I put it back in there. I just got through saying that. You probably couldn't tell because somebody's over there tapping on their desk. Remember, we still have 4 counters. 2 red and 2 white. Multiply the 2 probabilities together. A half of a half. What's half of a half? No, that is not true. I'm getting a fraction of a fraction, which means I'm getting something smaller. A quarter. 0.25. How do I write that as a fraction? 1/4. How do I write that as a percent?
25%.
25%. These are all possible answers. All right. So it says first determine whether the example given is an independent or dependent event. Then solve for the given probability. You should include an I or D in the simplified fraction. So this is important. I need I and D or D and a simplified fraction. 2 parts of my answers. Diamond is playing a game. In the game, she has to spin a spinner that is divided into equal sections of orange, red, purple, and pink. Those are important. How many is she starting with? How many?
4.
4. I need y'all to pay attention. What is the probability that on her first spin she will land on pink and her second she will land on red? Okay, is her number going to change from one event to the next? No. Okay. So I have 2 things happening though. So what kind of events are these? Dependent or independent? They're independent. They're separate from one another. Okay. Probability of pink, then red. That's my notation. How many pieces are pink? 1 out of 4 pieces. So that's 1/4 of a chance to get pink. How many pieces are red?
1, 3.
I'm not taking a piece away. I've got 4.
Then 1/4.
1/4.
Keep it 1/4.
And what do I do to the 2 fractions?
Multiply.
What's 1/4 times 1/4?
1/8.
You're not adding, guys. 16.
Oh. You said what? Because she's.
Why? How?
Never mind.
On a shelf, there are 60 novels and 20 poetry books. What do I have?
80 books.
80 books. Good. What'd you do? Okay. 80 books. What is the probability that person A chooses a novel and then walks away with it? So I'm going to have 80 first, and then what? Somebody's going to walk away with that book. So what do I get? Good. 79 later. Is this independent or dependent? Dependent, because my numbers change. So I want a novel first and then a novel second. So probability of novel, then novel. Sure. How many novels can I get at first? No, that's all the books. 60. I need to put 60 over what? 60 over 80. I have to have these denominators. So 80 first, and then 79. Time out. Hold on. 60 over 80. Now I've taken out a novel. So what now?
50.
Now I have 59 novels left because one of them is gone. And what am I doing with these two fractions? I am going to simplify, then multiply. 60 out of 80. Cross out the zeros. Then I can simplify some more. What would this become in more simple forms? 3/4. So I'm going to move it over here so that I can cancel this out. Okay, now I need 59 times 3 and 79 times 4. Come over here to the side. 59 times 3, 79 times 4. Oops, I put a line under it like a dum-dum. All right, 4 times 9. 36. 4 times 7 plus 3. Too many. Take one away. 31. 9 times 3. 27. And then 3 times 5 plus 2. So on the top, I have 177 over 316. That is my chances of getting a novel first and a novel second. All right. Numbers 1 through 20 are placed in a bag. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Keep that in mind. 1 through 20 are placed in a bag without replacing. What kind of event? Dependent or independent? Dependent. I should not hear giggling. Please stay focused. I am not over here telling jokes. Without replacing the first number, what is the probability that the first number drawn will be odd and the second will be even? Odd, then even. How many odd numbers do I have? I have 10. How many even numbers do I have then? 10 and 10. Cool. What are my totals now? 20 at first. And then 19 last. I put 20 feet. Come on, Miss Darling, get it together. 20 first. And then 19 later. Okay, probability of odd, then even. What are my denominators? Good. What am I going to do with the two fractions? Multiply and simplify, yes. How many odd numbers do I have?
10.
Where does the 10 go? 10 out of 20. How many even numbers do I have? It's not going to be 9. I didn't take out an even number. I took out an odd number. So I still have 10. What can I do with these zeros? Simplify, cross them out, same thing. 1 times 10.
10.
And 2 times 19. Ooh, too much. 38. Good.